What is up? It is Triple M here, and I'm here with a brand new video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave any comments down below that you wanna let me know about. All right. Anywho, let's get down to business. So today, I think I want to talk about um, what team would be the next of surprising us winning the NBA Finals. We saw that this year it was kind of Toronto. They just kind of came in and just blew everything out the water. And I think there were a lot of things that, some people say went in their favor, others say didn't. With the Warriors being hurt, I mean, all them different things went into it. But I think that, you know, the next biggest thing or the biggest team who could probably win and surprise us like that, I think is the Denver Nuggets. Being from Denver, I'm not rooting for Denver personally, but the way that they are right now, I think that they could. I think that all that Denver really needs is just that one extra piece to push them. You look at players, who can do certain things like that. I just think they need that player player to push them. I think if you look at a player like Chris Paul is a very good player, and I think that if he were to be on the Denver roster, he could definitely help them succeed. I think that with what he's capable of doing and things like that, I think that he definitely could. So, I mean, that's kind of that kind of thing right there. I mean, when you talk about players who, you know, can contribute to a team, I really think he can, especially to a team like Denver with Jokic and all them. You know, um, I really think that there are two kind of players. Actually, let me not say just two. There are probably multiple, but I think the two I know is really a mental and physical player. You look at a player like Kobe Bryant. He was a mental player. That's that mental, that Mamba mentality. Look at a player like Michael Jordan. I think he was more of that physical. What I mean by that is a player like Kobe. He would look at you and he would break you down mentally, and he would see how he can make you tired while not making himself tired, but exerting energy at the same time. He would literally try to find the weakness inside of you, whether that was, your how fast you could run, your agility. So if he knew you couldn't close out fast enough, he was gonna take that shot. If he knew that you couldn't guard him when he went to the basket, that's how he was gonna attack you. So he would mentally break you down as a player, and you were just sitting there like, man, I can't guard him, or man, I can't. So that's really, I mean, I think how he would come out, because if we see when he would come out, he would kind of use all his different moves and try to get, try to see how what would float your boat, if they would say. But if you look at a player like Michael Jordan, dominant, you know, he was more of a physical player. Michael Jordan would go out there and he would say, okay, I want to get the lead, but not only do I want to get the lead, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna put my foot on your nose, on your throat, and I'm gonna make sure that you're not gonna get back up from this. He's trying to close it out. So that was the kind of player that Michael Jordan was, as far as he's gonna go and he's gonna try to give you everything he got, and he's gonna try to bury you so that you can't come back from that. Rather than a player like Kobe, who he's just trying to figure out how he can break you down so that he can get what he wants. Um, I think that there are players like Michael today. It's really hard to see players like him to like Kobe today. There are a couple out there, but I think a combination of both of them, I would say, is probably James Harden, because he's gonna go out there and he's gonna mentally see what he can do. He's gonna see, if I drive in, how many times you gonna foul me? Well, you can't, or he's gonna see, can you guard me from the 3 point line? Or, but at the same token, he's like, all right, no. So this is, you can't guard me from here. You can't do this. Okay, now I know how I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna go and now I'm gonna make sure you're not gonna get back up. So that's his kind of ideal. Um, I think a player like Russell, you know, I think that's a third kind of player, which is a player that goes out there just to play, not for any one purpose. They're going out there, and let me not say that the one purpose is to win. He's going out there just to get that dub, because it could care less about a triple double. He could care less about how many points he puts up. At the end of the day, if we don't win, we're not, What does that mean? And there's players who get that. I think everybody's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about the winning. But when you're out there on that court, and you have an opportunity, you guys are down by three. I mean, you guys are down by two, and you go ahead and you could take the 3 point shot, but you could miss it because maybe you're not that great at threes, but there's somebody open right over there who could take the three, you know, and all you need is 3 more points to get 50. What you gonna do? You're gonna take that shot. You're gonna pass the ball. So it really, I mean, who you are, you could say a lot of things, but actions, obviously speak louder than words. I think going back to Denver and everything, they need a player like Chris Paul. I see what they have with I mean not Paul Millsap, but Jamal Murray, very great player. What he's capable of, what he can do, but is he gonna be what they need? No, he can't. And that's something that you just can't replace. You look at a player like Chris Paul, he can be all them things that you need. He can definitely take you to the championship if he has the right pieces around him. I think that we saw that with a glimpse of DeAndre Jordan, but like I said, DeAndre Jordan wasn't, where he needed to be. So I think if you put a player like Chris Paul and Jokic together, phew, there's a lot that can be done. And just knowing how Jokic is, he can shoot the three, shoot the mid range, come in the inside and dominating the paint. So you have that. That's a lot of floor space in there. And a player like Chris Paul who can come in there and assist, who I think is a more of an old school point guard, not one of these, more newer who just wants to score or whatever, he's gonna look for that person to take the last second shot. He's gonna give that assist for that person to take the last second shot rather than take the last second shot. You look at a guy like Curry. He could maybe assist because he could do both. But if it's that last second shot and that 3 point line is open, you better know he's taking that shot. So it's more so of like what they're capable of or what they can do. Um, but you know, talking about where Chris Paul is, like I said, I don't believe that OKC is going to get what they want with him. I think they're in a position to rebuild, and I think that Chris Paul is just a piece just to keep them floating. I think that really what they really need to do is to get a good player that they could build around because, like I say, Chris Paul is getting up there in age. Not saying he's too old, but and his talent is starting to go down somewhat. And eventually he's not going to be able to give you the same thing if you wait too long. So I think if they're trying to build something around Chris Paul, it's not going to work because by the time you get that build around him, he's not going to be able to produce the same way. And that means that you've wasted time building these pieces around somebody who can't give you what you expect them to give you, which is then going to put your organization in even a longer drought. I think that they need to get a player. I don't think Westbrook was the fit. I think Westbrook, he's a different kind of point guard all around. I think if you get a point guard like Damian Lillard, I think that's somebody you could build a franchise around. You know, I've had a question asked to me, could you build a franchise around Stephen Curry? I don't think you could, and the only reason why is because Stephen Curry, he's just so much. He's more of the face, not the and I say he's more of the face of the franchise than he would be what the franchise would build around. Like, with Klay Thompson and all then Kevin Durant was the franchise, but Curry was the face of that franchise because Curry's gonna go out there and he's gonna just score and he's gonna assist and he's gonna shoot that three ball. But you want a player like Kevin Durant who can go in and can get to that basket, can dunk on you, can be deadly from that mid range game. You can count on them for that last second shot. Can be a 2 time MVP in consecutive years. You want a player like that to be your franchise player. Rather than a player like except for Curry. Don't get me wrong, he's a great player, but he's a great ad piece also. Um, I just think that, you probably most likely want a player like, like I said, Damian Lillard for them to start building around. Um, you know, um, I think that with everything, I think, you know, Denver could definitely win. But like I said, they need that extra piece. Now I'm saying I think it could be Chris Paul. Doesn't mean it has to be Chris Paul, but I think it definitely could be Chris Paul. I think that if they're able to do that, they'll be able to do it. And I think the next piece after that would just be, seeing what works and what doesn't. So that's my biggest part there as far as all that goes. But that's my opinion on that. So I think that definitely the next team to surprise us with a victory of the championship would probably be Denver. Um, you know, if I had to say the next team to have the best of a dynasty run, hard to say. I think you could definitely look at a team like Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee could definitely do that. But besides that, that's really it. So leave your comments, like and subscribe, and if you have anything, that's it. Triple M here. Peace.